Today marks a big day for the Kent State Golden Flashes as it is Senior Day in your regular season finale, facing the Buffalo Bulls in what could be a preview of your MAC championship game. And just like last season, this one is about as close as it could be. Kent State at top this time, 7-0, perfect in conference play. Buffalo 6-1. With Toledo 5-2. If Kent State comes out on top in today's matchup, there is no head-to-head between Buffalo and Toledo, so there could be a chance for the Rockets. But if they're going to make it to the MAC championship game, they're also going to have to beat their rival in Bowling Green. But how fitting it is that on Senior Day, we welcome back Gavin Garcia, our running back from last year, transferred to Buffalo this year. And not only is he a captain for them, but he's putting up big numbers. 830 rushing yards he's averaging, 4.6 yards a carry, 8 touchdowns on the year. And on top of that, he's had 10 rushes for 20-plus yards. And he's even gotten a little bit involved in their receiving game as well, with another $162 and another touchdown. But it's also that receiving game we're going to have to keep an eye on today, as Nick McMillan and Caleb Brown are also captains for the Bulls. Defensively, they have 4 men with double-digit TFLs. And as for their sack leader, that is Shamar Riser Presley. And in the secondary, Charles McCarthrins has had 3 interceptions. Unfortunately for the Bulls, they will be without their defensive leader in Red Murdoch, team captain, senior, and he has a groin tear, which has him out into the future. His draft stock could very well be in jeopardy. We've got our own senior linebacker taking advantage of his opportunity. Grayson Howard has himself in line to make a run at almost every possible award that a middle linebacker can achieve. And he's doing it with his teammate Jeremiah Tellender also receiving votes. But it's not just the players. Coach Ty as well receiving votes for the Coach of the Year. However, he is behind Sataki and Kitchings. Winning that MAC championship game and a bowl game could very much propel him up this list. And on top of that, landing some more recruits could go a long way as well. And we have one important player on a visit today. Damian Roan, the speed rusher DT from Lexington, Kentucky. We have a slight edge, but Kentucky's coming in hard for him. If we get a good visit, the defense performs, we just might get a commit today. Another player who could look to commit is Emeka Bartu, the coverage specialist strong safety from Tampa, Florida. Right now, he's favoring Akron. We're hoping that a big day today might just tip this one in our favor. We also could possibly land another safety, free safety hybrid in Linval Iverson. And before the season does come to a close, we have some seniors to thank. Jonathan Aldridge, Tyler Bivens, Ollie Fisher, Hunter Hopperton, Mason Maddox, David Alano, Jeremiah Tellender, Grayson Howard, Jalen Thompson, and Jaden Harris. Let's do our job and try to send them out on top as we are underway for the final regular season game. It's Harris with a straight shot for the defender to take him down at the 18. And that's where we'll get our day underway. Mason Kelsey needs 2 more passing touchdowns to hit 20. We'll see how much passing look to do today as we already go with that speed pitch outside. It is Harris with a big gain by the 40. Go ahead and mark that a gain of 24 to get us going here today. Harris has had a big year taking over for Gavin Garcia. To go right back to him this time, Stonewall. And that's something we don't want to have Damian Roan, the guy visiting today, see for another team. Want to make sure our defense is locking things down as Taylor on the drag picks up 5. That has Kent State set up. They 3rd and 5 at the 47. They go ace pistol look. With a hard count, flag does come in, perhaps a little bit late. Rolling out, looking to set his feet, and I think he might have tried to go downfield to Tank Hawkins. Good news, we got that penalty. A smart quarterback sees that penalty and does try to take that cheap shot downfield when it comes free. The 1st and 10 of the 48 thanks to that penalty. Back to Harris. Riser Presley coming off the edge rather quick. And he's going to be facing one of our left tackles, a transfer for this year. And he's back again. Just too much speed there from the edge rusher. That sets up a 3rd and 7. Weak eye. As our big man in motion, we go with that RPO with a blocker in front, but outruns him. That was Daniels getting out there. Good news is he didn't have to pick up that block. If he did, we might be talking about a house call right now, but not exactly the case. As they go back to that RPO action, Harris taken down at the handoff. Last reading that one, and he didn't bite at all at the potential pass. 2nd and 13. Look to go with a screen. Harris with a few blockers out in front, sets up a wall, and he will get the 1st down. Kent State, well, they have plenty of different running backs. None really come with the power, but Harris, he lowered the shoulder on that one. Gains on the carry here, cannot find the outside. Buffalo picks up a loss of 4. Back at the 28 here for Kent State with a bunch left-hand side. They got a receiver open underneath, finding Carrion. However, that one does just go as a gain of 5. Setting up now 3rd and 10 at the 24. Tight look here for Kelsey. As they have a couple options underneath, rolling over to the right-hand side. Nothing quite opens up. It's going to be a jump ball for Carrion, and it's in and out of his hands. He definitely had it while up in the air, but was not able to bring it down safely. So it brings out Alano, one of our seniors, left hash, and perfectly down the middle. Kent State opens up the day with a field goal drive on the Buffalo Bulls. Well, it's always great to make sure you pick up some points on your opening drive. Touchdowns are better, but we'll see what Gavin Garcia can do here for the Bulls against the new-look Kent State defense. RPO, and that's going to be a 1st down Bulls. Well, Kent State did have a pretty promising season last year, nearly making the MAC championship game. There's definitely a lot more higher-profile players. One of them arriving for the sack. It's Brenton Bush. Jalen Thompson, other side, receiving votes for edge rusher of the year. Brenton Bush has not, but he has been a big impact in the second half of this season. A 2nd and 15 for the Bulls. As here is Garcia with space, taken down by Stockstill. He was a man attacked heavily last week, but ultimately won us the game, breaking up a pass on 4th. 3rd and 5 here with a free rush, but finds their tight end. The quick slant for success. And perhaps the one and only player that Gavin Garcia recognizes on this defense in Rollison, making the tackle. Now the 41 here is Buffalo, as they've got Garcia with space down the middle, rumbling, spinning down at the 23. It'll be very interesting to see how the crowd reacts to a possible touchdown coming from Garcia. They loved him last year, but he's upended in the backfield. Tellender with the big hit, trying to get a little bit more votes for all those different awards. Brings up 2nd and 13, RPO, slant is broken up Howard. It's been a terrific tandem between these two seniors. We'll see what Coach Ty decides to do in the offseason, trying to rebuild that linebacker group. 1st down Bulls, still on his feet, fighting forward McMillan. Rollison there, but just about a half step behind. Sets up 1st and goal at the 10. Looking to go to the air, and they've got him on the slant. Actually, a little bit more of a crossing route. McMillan on back-to-back catches. Puts the Buffalo Bulls in front here in Kent, Ohio, 7-3. A pretty soft opening there for the Golden Flash defense. Offense will have to respond. Going with that triple option and already getting it in the hands of Tank Hawkins. Was not able to juke by the 2 defenders. But picking up a nice gain nonetheless takes us to the first break here of this game. 7-3, Buffalo Bulls on top as the first quarter comes to a close. Pretty neck and neck here throughout, but Buffalo, they are winning the average yards per play, just north of 8. At the 40, we start the second quarter. Going back to the screen, and just outside of Riser Presley goes Harris for the 1st down. Gain of 21. I'm sure both the running backs for these teams had a word before this game started, as Harris was a backup last season. Poor Garcia nearly going the opposite way. Coach Ty tried breaking out a wide receiver, more like running back screen. Read very well by the Buffalo Bulls, and Riser Presley back again. He has been a wrecking crew off the left side of this offensive line, setting up a 3rd and 13. And it's a weak eye formation here with Hawkins in motion. And he will get the ball. They had to wait till the very end there. Setting up a 4th and 5 at the 34. Now this is field goal range, but Coach Ty keeps the offense on the field. A risky move here. With a hard count, no penalty this time. Throws right side, has the blocker. The senior in Hopperton sprinting, but not to the end zone. Comes up 2 yards short. 1st and goal. Would have been great to get the senior in there. Throwing out to the flat here. Harris, even short, 2 inches. So inside the 1, you've got 2nd and goal then with the wings spread out. Bailey in the backfield as they will snap that ball, looking for the pass. Waiting for the gap to open, and plucking it out of the air is Tank Hawkins. Right in front of a defender. If he was a millisecond late to that ball, we are very close to staring at a turnover, but we get away with 2 risky throws on that drive to take the lead. With just under 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half, it's 10-7. Kent State back in charge, and no defense has yet to show up. The throw to the flat, quick tackle comes in. Cordoba. He's a player that Coach Ty feels like could really grow into a good spot on this team. But right now, we're going to need some tighter coverage. The Flash defense playing very soft out there. Looks like they're just trying to not get beat deep by this captain-led receiving corps. As it's a quarterback keeper, Blake left side, turns up, he's got the first. He's not a man who takes too many carries, and when he has, they haven't necessarily gone for a lot. But at this point in the season, when you need to win this game, it is all-out effort. With a perfect throw, Tellender in pursuit will track him down at about the 10. Taylor Blake, 7 of 8 on the day. One more might find them back in front here. The goal-to-go situation is Gavin Garcia coughing up that ball and recovered. Elijah falls on top of it. Nearly looked like it was going to be scooped for a possible score by an earlier arriving defender, then nearly recovered by Buffalo. Still goes Kent State way. You've got Howard, who's trying to lock in those awards. He's trying to build a draft profile here. The 1st and 10, we take over. Standing in our own end zone and letting this one rip downfield. Tank Hawkins, a little bit underthrown. Gibbs does well to just sit and wait for it to open up. 2nd and 10 as ball falls incomplete. Still back at the 8 here. That goes Harris down the middle. He's got 4. And it still leaves you a little bit behind the chains here, needing 6. Strong pistol eye set for Kelsey. Hawkins in motion left-hand side at the 11. They throw quickly across the middle, and he's got the 1st down. Luckily falling forward as he spun to get that catch, as it's at the 18. The bunch to the right-hand side, they're covering well deep, and that one should have been picked off. 2 receivers for Kent State were colliding with one another, and I think that threw off the timing for Kelsey. As they go back to the triple option, it's Harris outside. Unable to slip underneath, does break a tackle to pick up an extra yard. But if he's able to hop back inside, he had a wall building there. 3rd and 4, Kent State. As they go back to that triple option, Kelsey keeping this one. He'll take it to about the 37. With just a little bit of time left here prior to the 2-minute warning. Snapping that ball and pitching it out late. They do find Martin, who looks to get north. Just back to the line as the 2-minute warning hits. Both teams do have all 3 of their timeouts in a close first half here. A 2nd and 10. Hawkins in motion. They still swing it out his way, hoping the speed would carry. But the ball coming in behind, not able to accelerate outside. 3rd and 10 here. Buffalo trying to get a stand as Kelsey sent the strong side over the right-hand side. Carrion now in motion. Kelsey steps up, weaving to the left side. He's got the first down to the midfield line. He's most definitely not a man that's afraid of taking hits out there. Tight over on the left-hand side with what looks to be press. Hawkins, they'll go his way, looking to separate late, and he drops it in. What a throw from Mason Kelsey, and the speed of Tank Hawkins there at the end, because he did not win that press coverage. We extend the lead, about a minute to go here in the first half. That deep ball from Kelsey has just gotten better and better as this season has gone along. And that caps off a 10-play, 93-yard drive started by the forced fumble of Grayson Howard on our former running back of Gavin Garcia, who they look to go to here. This time he's got a lane well into the second level to the 46. Well, apparently they'll cut him a little bit short there, 45, as Buffalo does call their first timeout. Empty set, but they're still going to go with a run. Thompson chases him down at the line. Going hurry up, here is Buffalo. Trips over to the right-hand side, one to the left. As they will have everyone go deep downfield. Plenty of time here for their quarterback to try to find someone. He goes with a check down. They had a wide-open receiver deep down the left sideline. Oh, I don't think Coach Ty's going to complain. 3rd and 3. Sending the blitz here. Forcing the roll, but still on target for McMillan. He has been their man here today, and with that catch, he surpasses 1,500 career receiving yards. Big time for the Buffalo receiver. As he throws to the flat here and through the hands of his target. First drop today for Viviano. He's been targeted several times and has caught everyone prior to that. 26 seconds to work with here. As they will check down again. Viviano. He'll get what he can and get out of bounds, preserving that last time out. They are inside field goal range as they send everyone deep downfield. And shot downfield. Stockstill was in the right place. You just simply forgot you got to leave your feet if you want to go up and tip a ball, let alone get the interception. I think we have the same reaction as the lady in the crowd here, as Dwayne Earl Jr. with an easy touchdown on a wobbly pass that should have been picked. Not exactly how you want to see that first half come to a close, especially as it will be Buffalo ball to open up the second half, but they draw within a field goal. And what really is a good back and forth game, these teams matching up very evenly. And if Buffalo is able to pull off the win here, they will seal themselves into the MAC championship game against our Kent State Golden Flashes. If they lose, it is not signed, sealed, and delivered. Toledo might just have themselves a chance. We'll keep an eye on that score bug at the bottom to see if we've got an update. But it's time we get back here to Kent and try to finish off this regular season. As we look to get this second half underway, Olano with the boot. And it is Early Jr. back to return. Angling left side, he looked to be stopped, but shakes by two defenders, shakes another one, and breaks through the tackles. It's Olano, and he does not have an angle. Early Jr. with an early play this second half puts Buffalo in front on what should have been a return stopped inside the 20. That is a massive play for Buffalo and very much helps out their offense, who has at times looked great, at times have had drop and fumbling issues, and their defense, who has not stopped Kent State. Now Coach Ty has to hope that that trend continues. Trailing 21-17. We were not expecting to be on the field here this early. Flipping it out late to Harris, trying to avoid the loss on the play, turn it into a positive of 4. He's definitely had some risky late tosses that time, and at least goes in our favor. The 25 now. The throw right side. Second catch on the day, Hopperton. He started the year as the starting tight end. Was demoted about halfway through as Taylor took over, but the last few weeks he's made some impressive plays. With Carrion getting the grab, spinning forward for 9. Just needing about 1 here on second down. Could very well be a shot play here. Or instead, they stick with that triple option, and it's Kelsey running straight into his tight end. That could have been a much bigger play if he was able to bounce just outside the block. I'm sure Coach and his fellow teammates will give him some words in film this next week. But a 1st and 10 here as they do go back to that RPO carry in, tracked down from behind. McCarthrins takes the play away. And it's actually going to go as a loss of 1 on the play, and has confused Kent State as they're coming out here in a goal line look just a few yards past the midfield line. The 2nd and 11, no one blocked left side. Harris bounces, and he's got the first down, taking an extra hit there at the end. Once again, turning a negative play into a positive play this drive. Gaines checks in to give Harris a bit of a breather as he's right down the gut, falling forward for 4. Always good to see some of the other backs check in every now and then, though. Harris right back out onto that field. With motion in left-hand side, that's Tank Hawkins. Play would be blown up by his own teammate, but he gets around the edge. Blast does not contain Hawkins. Tracked down at the 3. Almost a touchdown. Great pursuit there from 3 to get the tackle. Buffalo, they've definitely got themselves some bulls out there. The 1st and goal. As they pop up, no, it's a draw. Open for Harris. Everyone bailed out to cover the receivers, and it left him with all the space to trot into the end zone. And once again, put Kent State in charge here. We've had a whole lot of back and forth action. And good news for Kent State defense, they actually get to see the field. And it starts at the 12, so special team responds after their blunder the previous attempt. Gavin Garcia this time contained. Thompson meets him about a yard past the line of scrimmage. Sets up 2nd and 9 at the 13. As they go with another RPO, bad tackle attempt there, Stockstill. Brown compounds it by slipping the tackle, picking up a 1st down and a little bit extra to the 27. RPO again, Harris with a tackle. Viviano, the gain of 8. He's been that sure-handed guy here for Blake underneath whenever McMillan has been covered or has a developing route downfield. Swinging it out, and the spin here from Early. He's a shifty man out in space. For this flash defense apparently is a guy who's very hard to tackle. The 1st and 10 of the 43, 2 tight ends set. Right side they run, weak side, and you know who's there. Grayson Howard has been shutting down Gavin Garcia in his return to Kent, Ohio. 2nd and 10. They go play action. Howard drifts back, but it goes downfield with a broken up pass, Cordoba. That one intended for Early. We already know has had a big impact on this game. A 3rd and 10. Throwing downfield. Cordoba off the fingertips. Back-to-back batted passes as the ball over to the offense, starting at the 23 with yet again another chance to extend their lead. As Kelsey flips this one out late to Harris. He's by the 40, approaching the 50, taken down at the 47. Just shy of the midfield line here for Kent State. As they go right back to that triple option. And again, pitch it out late, it's Harris for a gain of 8. They're doing their best to try to freeze the edges of the Buffalo Bulls. Pressure with Riser Presley, who gets involved on that play. Spin, Harris, 1st down. Kind of makes you wonder if Gavin Garcia missing the triple option attack here of his former team. They snap that ball. Flipping this one to Tank. He's got the edge here at the 30, the 20. 10 incoming defender does not arrive in time. It's another touchdown for Tank Hawkins. He has been the guy for this offense this season. And as the quarter comes to a close, we pull ahead now by 10, trying to lock in our spot in the top 25 and potentially knock the Buffalo Bulls out of the MAC title game. And that leaves just 1 quarter left to play here in the regular season. 31-21 is how we begin the 4th. And it's Gavin Garcia. Patient running, finds 7. He's come close to breaking off a few runs today, but has not quite had the space. 2nd and 3. Quick throw to the flat, setting up the screen. Diving miss there was Howard. Gill traces back with help coming in from the other DBs. That might be the biggest play so far today for Brown. He had 1 catch, I believe, in that first half. 1st and 10 here. And it is Garcia with the spin. Another first down rumble for the former Flash, now Bull. At the 39, they go back to the passing game here, wide open downfield, but a missed throw. Taylor Blake has normally been pretty spot on throughout the game today. That was his first bad one. The 2nd and 10. And it's play action, freezing the blitz, dumping it off to their tight end, who's back to the line. A 3rd and 10 here for the Bulls, just about field goal range, might be a bit too far. See if Blake can get them in range, or perhaps pick up a first down. As everyone is covered, no one's getting a rush. He throws downfield, and he's got his man, McMillan, down to the 8. And that's a play that you have to blame the front 4 rushers there. They had to get back there with all that time. Blake able to find someone eventually. Thompson trying to make up for it. He collapses that pocket, but Blake scrambles to the end zone. Rollison tried to chop him down, but Blake draws them back to a field goal game. And if you're Coach Ty here with the lead, about 6 minutes to go in this game, you've got to take control. Manage the rest of this one and come out on top. Harris cuts left side. He's got 6. 4 more yards for him, and that could make it 100. 4 more yards also will give him a first down. As Harris, nowhere to go, he's going to lose a few. Jamar Riser Presley with another play in the backfield. 3rd and 7. This one will be yet another free play. Taking their time, rolling. They've got an open target downfield, hooking up with Taylor. And a good stiff arm there as well. A good punch to the Bulls player. And that means you can very easily decline that penalty. Flipping the field here with 4:40 to go. Back to that triple option. It's to Harris, who just gets north here, picking up 3. But at this point in the game, you are perfectly happy with those 3. Bailey goes in motion, and they will swing it out his way. Taking on the safety, spinning forward, it's 3rd and 1. You are also sitting about field goal range here. You would love the first down, though. The 3rd and 1. 3 hands down in the backfield. They go fullback dive. Bailey has it. Buffalo, though, losing a defensive player, Darren Reed Jr., looks to be down on the field. As he makes his way to the sideline. Kelsey makes his way out to receiver. Harris in the backfield. He sends Gaines in motion. And will look to follow behind almost no one. Kent State trying to get a little tricky here late. Just not exactly opening up the way they were wanting. As Kelsey barks out a play call change. 2nd and 9. They go with a play action. Rolling right side. Couple of players out that way, but none of them get a block. Instead, Kelsey will get what he can. He sets up a 3rd and 4 at the 23. Weak eye formation here as the Bulls send the blitz. Leaking out Harris, a blocker in front. Looking for that pylon. He arrives before any Bull defender does. Back to a 2-score game. And a great drive there from Kent State, milking down that clock, taking about 4 minutes off the top. Buffalo, they still have all their timeouts. They found a lot of success today, passing to Viviano and McMillan, both out to the right side. Instead, they hand it off, and it's Garcia gashing this defense. Honestly, it's a smart call there from the Bulls OC, leaving them time here to still get one more play off before the break. Thompson blocked up by the tight end, and it's early, down to the 31. 2-minute warning hits there, a big play for the Bulls. Has them in prime spot. High pass, Viviano, though, able to bring it in without even jumping. And has a gain of 4, but having to go hurry up here, needing 2 scores. Switch off outside and broken up stock still. Every now and then, he makes a big play. Just sometimes gets picked on and sometimes seems to be fairly often. 3rd and 6 with a quick pass. They're looking for almost a tunnel screen. Brown not able to get away from Howard. But it is 4 down territory as they do line up quickly here. 4th and 2. Trips over to the right-hand side. And here's plenty of time here. Pass across the middle and threads it to McMillan. Timeout called Bulls. He's just proven too hard to cover all day long. Pass back across the middle. Brown taken down again, met by Howard. However, that does move him to the 4 here. Still looking for 4 down territory. You've got to find the end zone. Howard takes away the former Golden Flash, but Viviano is then left open, making this one 38-35. And with a minute to go, they will be looking for the onside. Caught by Tucker, more like corralled by Tucker. All they got to do now is kneel us to a close, and Kent State is sending themselves to the MAC title game. And we're going to find out rather shortly if the Buffalo Bulls are going to catch themselves a bit lucky. Tank Hawkins takes the player of the game, though, with 3 touchdowns spread out through pitches as well as catches. Harris, though, had a great game. And Gavin Garcia, while he had some great runs out there, can't say he was the best back out there, so the man sticking with the Golden Flash will take the better of the 2 running backs. Taylor Blake looked very promising out there. McMillan was a massive threat. We'll see if we'll meet again in just one more week, or if Toledo made it happen. But before we find out that information, we land Damian Roan, the DT from Lexington, Kentucky, stealing him away from Kentucky. But continuing that good news, if you count it good news, we've got a rematch against Buffalo for your MAC title game at Ford Field. Toledo was not able to get the job done. They gave it up in the 4th, losing to Bowling Green, losing their rivalry matchup 24-20 and sealing their fate to just be a bowl game. And speaking of bowl games, right now it has Kent State projected for the first round of the college football playoffs against Notre Dame. Now, I'm going to be honest, that was not on my radar, but if we win our MAC championship game, we could be headed to the playoffs. This season might just be extended. But to do that, we need more from our defense in the next game. Buffalo had 406 yards of offense. We had 466. They had 42 total plays. We had 58. They had almost 10 yards per play, yet somehow we won this game. They had 14 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown. Obviously, the forced fumble was really the difference maker. I feel like in this game, that was the only bit that really separated. As terms of passing, they had 301 passing yards. We cannot let everyone get going like we did today. Early was over 100 yards, a touchdown, not even counting his special teams touchdown. McMillan had 82 and a touchdown. Viviano was big. Brown had a couple big splash plays. If it wasn't again for forcing that fumble on our former teammate in Gavin Garcia, we might have lost that game. So let's make sure we tune up those bolts as we have a MAC championship game next time. But before you go, we did have some players decide to go elsewhere in that last week. We did lay off the right tackle a few weeks ago. He does commit to JMU. Emeka Bartu, though, does decide to go to Akron. And on top of that, Westbrook's the guy we were trying to make a push back for here late. He commits to Temple. And frankly, we haven't been going after too many offensive linemen. We had just the one on our board, so that needs to be a focus in the transfer portal, and perhaps maybe even find some leftover high school recruits to try to add in there late. But we're going to focus on the transfer portal when we get to the offseason. At tight end, we had a second man on the list in Corbin McNulty, and we are still in front, and that was even with a visit for Ball State in that last week, so hopefully we will find Corbin McNulty making his way here to Kent State. And while I would have loved to get Bartu, we already had the commit from Steven Natson. And on top of that, we also have Jaquez Trask, who's committed, while we are very close to also landing Iverson. So we still should be really solid at safety. But we'll look to continue Kent State's historic season next time as we try to top the 2012 season. That saw Kent State win 11 games. We need one more to top that. And this time I would love to bring home some hardware. So make sure you have not already, hit hit the bear icon in the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button, and tap that bell icon. And if you're enjoying the work of Coach Ty, make sure you leave him some love. And if you know someone who also might love the work here of Coach Ty, why don't you share this video with them? And let's grow that audience as we head into the title game. It's a big game to watch, and perhaps college football playoffs are even on the horizon for the Flash.